Hi, I'm Nia. 2 years into my marriage with Michael, things were perfect. At least, that's what I thought until I missed my flight from Chicago back to Boston. Flight 372 to Boston has been delayed due to weather conditions, announced the monotone voice over the airport speaker. Estimated departure time is now 7 p.m. I sighed, looking at my watch. 5:30 p.m. My business trip had already been exhausting, and now this. I decided to wander around the terminal, eventually finding myself in a small shop tucked between two chain restaurants. "You look troubled," said a woman behind the counter. Her silver hair was wrapped in a colorful scarf, her fingers adorned with rings that caught the light. "I'm Elena. Perhaps I can help?" "Unless you can control the weather, I doubt it," I replied with a laugh. Elena's eyes narrowed. "Weather is beyond my reach, but clarity isn't." She motioned for me to sit. "Give me your hand." Normally, I wouldn't indulge in fortune-telling, but something about her intensity made me extend my palm. "Your husband," she said immediately, her finger tracing a line on my hand. "There's deception there." My stomach tightened. "What? Michael?" "No, you're mistaken." "I'm never mistaken about these things," Elena insisted, her accent becoming more pronounced. "The signs are clear as daylight to those who know how to read them." "This is ridiculous," I said, pulling my hand away. Elena disappeared into the back room and returned with something wrapped in silk. "Take this," she said, placing it in my palm. It was a silver needle, about 3 inches long, unusually thick and strong. "Check your husband," Elena whispered, closing my fingers around the needle. "Thread together what he's hiding." "This is crazy," I said, but still tucked the needle into my purse. To my surprise, they canceled my flight entirely due to severe storms. I managed to get on an early morning flight the next day, arriving home a full day earlier than Michael expected. When I called Vanessa to let her know I was back, her hesitation was palpable. "Everything okay, V?" I asked. "Yeah, just surprised you're back so soon," she said quickly. "Want to grab coffee?" At the cafe, Vanessa kept glancing at her phone, her foot tapping nervously. "Okay, what's going on?" I demanded after 10 minutes of small talk. Vanessa set down her cup, her bracelets jingling. "I didn't want to say anything without being sure." "Say what?" "I saw Michael last night, Nia. And he was with someone at Marcello's. A woman." I rolled my eyes. "Probably a client? He has dinner meetings all the time." "Clients don't usually kiss their financial advisors on the lips," Vanessa said firmly, leaning forward, "and they certainly don't hold hands across the table like they're in some romance movie." "You must have misunderstood what you saw," I insisted, but the fortune teller's words echoed in my mind. "Maybe," she conceded, then fixed me with her intense gaze. "But would you bet your happiness on that? When was the last time you checked your joint accounts?" "What are you implying?" "Look, Michael's been acting weird for months. The late nights, the mysterious calls, always checking his phone. Those are just business things," I interrupted. "Are they? Because you've been mentioning cash flow problems with your business, while simultaneously he's buying a new car and taking secret trips." "They're not secret," I defended. But even as I said it, I remembered the silver needle. "Check your husband." "Whatever you say." Vanessa raised her hands in surrender. "But if I were you, I'd start paying closer attention. Something's not adding up." That night, while Michael was supposedly at a conference in New York, I opened our laptop and checked our joint business account. What I saw made my blood run cold. "There's no mistake, Mrs. Reynolds," said the bank representative, sliding the statement across the desk. "These transfers have been happening every month for nearly a year." I stared at the paper, tracing the columns with my finger. "And they all went to this same account?" "Yes, that's correct," he nodded, adjusting his glasses. "The account belongs to a Zephyr Consulting Group. Is this not a legitimate business expense?" "I've never heard of them," I replied, the sick feeling in my stomach growing. "And I handle all our business consultants." "Would you like us to flag these transactions for fraud?" I thought quickly. "Not yet. I need to investigate further." Later that day, I confronted Jack, Michael's best friend since college. Absolutely not, Jack said emphatically, pacing around his office. Michael would never do something like that. You're jumping to conclusions. Then explain these transactions, I demanded, showing him the printouts. There's probably a reasonable explanation, he said, barely glancing at them. Michael's brilliant with finances. That's why your business is so successful. Our business has been struggling for months while these transfers have been happening, I pointed out. And Zephyr Consulting doesn't even exist. I checked. Jack's face reddened. So what are you saying? That Michael's stealing from your company? From you? That's insane. Is it? Then why did he register an LLC under that name last year? Why has he been transferring exactly $5,000 every month? You're making a huge mistake, Nia, Jack warned. Michael loves you. He's working himself to the bone for your future together. While sleeping with another woman? That's... Jack stopped abruptly, his expression shifting. You knew, I realized, watching his face. You knew about the affair. I don't know anything, he backpedaled, and neither do you. You're making wild accusations based on bank statements and gossip? Tell me the truth, Jack. I deserve that much. Jack sighed, collapsing into his chair. Look, I can't get involved in this. Michael's my friend. And what am I? It's complicated, Nia. Just talk to Michael before you do anything rash. When I got home, I called Vanessa, my hands shaking. I need your help, I said the moment she answered. I'm already on my way, she replied without hesitation. Have you eaten anything today? Food is the last thing on my mind. Well, it's the first thing on mine. I'm bringing Ty. We'll figure this out. An hour later, surrounded by takeout containers, Vanessa and I mapped out a plan. So the Silver Needle was right, Vanessa mused, twirling a noodle. That fortune teller knew something was up. The needle. I reached for my purse and pulled it out. She said to thread together what he's hiding. Wait a second. Vanessa snapped her fingers. What if it's not just metaphorical? What if there's something physical to find? Like what? Like whatever he's hiding the money in. A safe, maybe? Secret documents? I've lived in this house for 3 years, I pointed out. I think I'd notice a safe. Not if it's well hidden, Vanessa countered, already on her feet. Let's search the house, thoroughly. After an hour of searching, we found nothing. Then I remembered Michael's obsession with his home office desk, an antique he'd insisted on buying despite its impractical size. The desk has a false bottom, I realized suddenly. He showed me when we first got it, said it was a cool feature but not really useful. With Vanessa's help, I removed the drawers and found the hidden compartment. Inside was a stack of documents, incorporation papers for Zephyr Consulting, bank statements for an account in that name, and photos, dozens of them, of Michael with a stunning redhead. Olivia Lambert, I read from one of the documents. He made her a partner in Zephyr. That two-timing, money-stealing, Vanessa began. Wait, I interrupted, examining the financial statements more closely. There's more to this. Some of this money is going to a property purchase. As I threaded together the evidence with Elena's silver needle as my guide, the full picture emerged. Michael had been embezzling from our business to fund a new life with Olivia. They were planning to open a competing firm. I waited until Friday when Michael returned from his conference. He walked through the door whistling, carrying an expensive wine bottle. Surprise! He exclaimed. I thought I'd bring home something special to celebrate your return. That's thoughtful, I said calmly. Why don't we open it now? Of course, honey. How was Chicago? Illuminating, I replied. I met someone interesting there. Oh? He asked, working the corkscrew. A potential client? A fortune teller, actually. Michael laughed. You? Getting your fortune told? That doesn't sound like my practical wife. People can surprise you, I said. For instance, I never thought you'd steal $60,000 from our business. The wine bottle slipped from his hand, crashing to the floor. What are you talking about? He stammered, face draining of color. I placed the documents on the table. Zephyr Consulting, Olivia Lambert, the property in Vermont. Nia, I can explain. Please do, I cut in. Explain how you've been embezzling from the business we built together. It's not like that, Michael insisted, charm shifting into gear. The money was an investment. I was going to surprise you with the returns. By leaving me for Olivia? I asked, sliding a photo across the table. These aren't what they look like. They look like you kissing your business partner, the one I knew nothing about. Michael's expression hardened. You weren't supposed to find out this way. How was I supposed to find out? After you'd cleaned out our accounts? Olivia understands me, he snapped. She supports my vision. With my money, I pointed out. Our money, he corrected. And technically, the transfers were legal. I'm CFO. The doorbell rang, interrupting his response. Expecting someone? Michael asked suspiciously. I opened the door to reveal Olivia herself, looking confused and angry. You must be Nia, she said. I'm Olivia. We need to talk. Come in, I replied, watching Michael's face contort with panic. Olivia, what are you doing here? Michael hissed. Finding out the truth, she replied, then turned to me. Did you know he's been lying to both of us? He told me you two were separated, that the money was his severance package. Convenient story, I said. Olivia, baby, don't listen to her, Michael pleaded. Nia's trying to ruin what we have. What exactly do we have, Michael? Olivia demanded. Because the Vermont property isn't in both our names like you promised. It's just in yours. When he realized he couldn't manipulate either of us anymore, his demeanor changed completely. You think you're so smart, don't you? He snarled at me. You have no idea what I'm capable of. If you try to ruin me, I'll make sure there's nothing left of you. Are you threatening me? I asked calmly. Take it however you want, he spat, grabbing his keys. But remember this. If I go down, you're coming with me. These threats are serious, Mrs. Reynolds, Detective Harris said, reviewing my statement. Combined with the financial evidence, we have enough to proceed with charges. He's never been violent before, I admitted, but I've never seen him like that night. Financial criminals often become desperate when exposed, the detective explained. Your decision to record the confrontation was prudent. I needed protection, I said simply. Miss Lambert's testimony corroborates your account, she continued. The district attorney is confident about the case. 3 weeks later, I sat in the courthouse hallway with Vanessa and Olivia, waiting for Michael's arraignment. Never thought I'd be on this side with you, Olivia commented. I'm sorry for my part in all this. He was very convincing. He fooled us both, I acknowledged. Not me, Vanessa interjected. I always said he was too perfect to be real. Perfect hair, perfect smile, perfectly rehearsed compliments. Michael appeared with his attorney, looking nothing like the confident man I'd married. He broke away and approached us. Nia, please, he began urgently. Drop the charges. We can work this out privately. There's nothing to work out, I replied firmly. The business accounts show everything. I made a mistake, okay? I admit it. But I don't deserve prison, he pleaded. Think about our history. Should I think about how you threatened me? Or how you stole from me for over a year? People say things they don't mean when they're cornered, he insisted. You know I would never hurt you. I don't know that at all anymore, I said. And I don't care what happens to you now. You don't mean that, he said, reaching for my hand. We can start over. I'll make it up to you. I pulled away. There's no starting over, Michael. You're facing the consequences of your actions. Miss Reynolds, his attorney intervened. This conversation is inappropriate. My client is prepared to make restitution if the charges are reduced. The DA has my full statement, I replied. And I'll be at every hearing to make sure justice is served. 6 months later, I sat with Vanessa on my new apartment's balcony, watching the sunset. Have you heard from Jack? She asked, sipping her wine. Not since the trial, I replied. Some friend he turned out to be. And the business? Recovering slowly. The restitution payments help, but it'll take time to rebuild completely. Vanessa raised her glass. To new beginnings, and to that fortune teller with her silver needle. I smiled, touching my glass to hers. You know what's strange? I still have that needle. I keep it as a reminder. A reminder of what? To trust my instincts. And that sometimes the truth is hiding in plain sight. You just need the right tool to see it. I've often wondered if I should have seen the signs earlier. What warning signs do you think I overlooked? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories about life's unexpected turns.